Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Real quick, I wanted to say a huge thank you to all my subscribers. I just hit 1,000 subscribers and I'm a few ticks over that now, but that is a huge milestone in my YouTube journey. So thank you for subscribing to my video. But let's get this video started right now. What we're going to be talking about today is Kia put out a few teasers on this vehicle, the 2023 Kia Telluride, and everybody knows how hot the Kia Telluride is already, and there's a redesign or a refresh happening already. Plus, Kia put out a little bit of information on the 2023 Kia Niros, and that includes the PHEV and EV models. And then also we're going to talk about Honda's new HR-V. We have some pictures and images of those as well. So we're going to talk about all the information I have currently on those vehicles and also kind of preview some of their debuts coming up very soon. Let's get this video started right now. All right, so first off, let's talk about the 2023 Kia Niro first of all there. Everybody wants to get right to the Telluride, but let's talk about the Niro first so that we bang out some of the information here. So for the Kia Niro, you're going to see a lot of the design elements, and this, let's actually go back a little bit. This is going to be mainly, what I'm thinking, this is going to be mainly a redesign on the exterior and the interior there. I don't think you're going to see much improvements on or changes on the engine, the powertrain specs like that, because frankly, they're very good already. I think this is going to be mainly a exterior and interior redesign. Engine, you're probably going to see a tweak here or there where you're going to get a few MPGs better because the aerodynamics or the tweaking of an engine here, the engine here and there, and you'll probably get a little bit more range on the EV version because there still will be an EV version. You're going to have a hybrid, a plug-in hybrid, and an EV version. Still here on the Niro. So that EV Niro, you'll probably see an uptick in the range there a little bit. It may stay the same, but I'm thinking they'll probably give it a little bit of an uptick on the range rating from the EPA, just because, like I said, the aerodynamic and some kind of tweaks here and there on the powertrain. So that's what I think. I don't think there's going to be a major overhaul on the hybrid, plug-in hybrid, or the EV models. I think they're going to be basically the same with a few tweaks here and there. But let's talk about the exterior design of this vehicle here. So it's going to be based a lot off of the Habanero concept, which came out a few years ago, and everybody thought, whoa, that is like so futuristic and it's different. But there was little design hints in the vehicle that kind of tuned that we felt like it was going to be on the Niro, down to even the name, Habanero, not habanero, but Habanero. So we felt like it was going to be the next redesign and a kind of a preview of what the next design would be on the Niro, and sure enough, that's what it is. So very much based right off of that. There is going to be, it looks like, according to the pictures, there's going to be some different colors. There's some like green colors. There's going to be the normal blue, white, black, all that stuff there. But they're really going to give this a redesign to kind of keep it up to date and kind of keep it fresh in the market there. The interior design, I suspect it's probably going to look very similar to the EV6. Obviously, the EV6 is going to be more premium, but you're probably going to get the stretched across screen across the front of the vehicle there with probably the 10.25-inch touchscreen. And then some type of digital instrument cluster for the actual instrument cluster. That's my thought. I could be wrong. There is no 100% facts on it just yet. There's obviously spy photos and all that kind of stuff, but strictly, I think this is going to be a exterior interior refresh redesign, and it's just going to keep it fresh in the market there because the Niro is a very, very good vehicle, gets good fuel economies, and it's a good EV vehicle as well. It's affordable. So I think that's what they're going to do, kind of keep this fresh in the market, and then, continue on with the Niro for quite a few years there ahead. So that's what I think on the Niro. Let me know if you have any questions. Let's move on to the HR-V next from Honda, because that was revealed on the 4th of this month, but the interior specs and all that stuff and all the specs of the vehicle was not revealed. So we're going to look at some of the B-roll on the HR-V and then talk about what I think is coming on the HR-V. All right, so on the HR-V, this is going to be the second generation of HR-V. Kind of crazy to think that the first generation Honda kept around for so long. And the reason really that they've been able to do that with kind of minor refreshes and stuff is because it's really a good vehicle, and Honda builds their vehicles to last so long in the market, and they really don't have to refresh them, as much as some of the other brands do. So the first generation of HRV is rolling out, and the second generation is coming in. So with the styling here, when I first saw the styling come out for the HRV, I immediately thought of, this is basically a Civic with a little bulgy face and kind of tuning, or design tunes that were a little different, maybe aimed more towards an SUV. But when I first saw it, the headlights are very similar to the Civic. The design of the mirror on the side, that's very similar to the Civic. And even down to the taillights on it, it kind of reminds me of that 2022 Civic, which is a good thing. That Civic, the 2022 Civic, is an absolutely stunning vehicle. Every one that we get here at Hertrick Honda is basically pre-sold before it comes in. We've had like 5 or 6 coming this month, and they've all sold before they've gotten in because people love the vehicle and they want to buy it. And the supply is not there. So many of them are being pre-sold before they're even hitting the lots, which is a good thing. So with this HRV, I think they took some of that design language and put it on this HRV, which again, I think is really, really good. Now, we don't have any pictures of the interior, but I suspect, and I could be wrong on this, but I suspect that the interior is going to look very similar to that Honda Civic interior. Now, there's going to be different design languages for each, obviously, but I think you're probably going to get that tablet-style display. You'll probably, on the touring trim level, you'll be able to get the fully digital instrument cluster. And overall, I think that some of the design language you're going to see very similar between the Civic and this HRV. Now, Honda may come out when they fully reveal this vehicle in a few months, and it may be completely drastically different. But I think that's kind of where it probably will be. It'll probably be very similar to that Honda Civic hatchback, that kind of stuff. But let's read the press release, because I was actually reading the press release, and it's got some pretty interesting things in here. Then I'm going to give you my thoughts on what I think the powertrains will be, and then also what trim levels and that kind of stuff there. But let's read a few words from the press release. So it starts off by saying, stylish second generation HRV features a low horizontal belt line, a longer hood, which I really noticed right up front there. Again, the Civic kind of did that as well. Larger grille, which again I think looks good. Wider stance and a sleek roof line. Looks overall very, very good. The second bullet point is, new HRV will be more refined, confident, and fun to drive with substantial, not minor, but substantially improved dynamics and powertrain responsiveness. So that kind of got me thinking there a little bit, because the HRV, as much as it is a reliable, fantastic vehicle for starting a starting family, or someone who's coming out of college, or someone who really doesn't need space, it's an overall fantastic vehicle, but it's definitely not something I would say is fun to drive. And so it's kind of interesting that they would say that it's going to be fun to drive, and that kind of makes me feel like they're going to put the 1.5 liter turbocharged engine from the Civic into this HRV. I could be wrong, but I think that's what potentially is going to happen. I think the base engine in this HRV is probably going to be the 2 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, just like in the Civic Sport and the Civic LX. And both of these engines are going to be made to the CVT. And I think if you get the EXL and the touring trim levels, maybe even in the EX, I think they're going to give you that 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with the CVT, which is in the CRV and is a fantastic vehicle, or a fantastic driving powertrain there. It's fun to drive, just like they say in here. And on the Civic there, same way. It's very fun to drive and everything. There has been a lot of rumors swirling around that Honda may be adding a hybrid powertrain. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen here in this HRV. I believe that you're going to have that 2 liter 4-cylinder engine and the 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine there. So 2 liter naturally aspirated and 1.5 liter turbo. I may have said turbocharged on the 2 liter before. 2-liter naturally aspirated 1.5-liter turbocharged engine. Both 4 cylinders, both hooked up to CVTs. No hybrid powertrain. I don't believe there is a hybrid powertrain in other markets there, but I don't believe they're going to bring that here to the USA. The CRV or the HRV kind of gets a good fuel economy already without having to add that hybrid powertrain. The model is set to launch this summer, so we're expected to hit some of these HRVs by this summer. We should be hearing some more official information from Honda as we get closer to that summer launch there. Let's continue to read a little bit. The all-new HRV debuts a clean, sporty, expressive exterior design for 2023, featuring a bold new grille, longer hood, sleek roofline, based on the award-winning 11th generation Honda Civic. So now you see where I'm getting the Honda Civic kind of comparison here. They're actually talking about it in the kind of news brief here. HRV is larger than its predecessor. It's going to have a longer wheelbase, and it's going to have a wider stance while still remaining sporty and personal. The HRV is the right size with the space and utility for an adventurous weekend escape, yet nimble to maneuver city streets. Set to launch this summer, HRV will feature a more responsive engine, 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, and a new independent rear suspension, which that's going to be fantastic in this vehicle. HRV is a comfortable ride, but with a new independent rear suspension, I feel that this is going to be very comfortable, and it's also going to give you a more stable and also more confident ride. HRV, again, very comfortable, nice SUV there. If you can buy a 2022 before the 2023s come in, don't hesitate it. I think the 2022s are still fantastic vehicles, but I think this 2023 is going to take it to the next level with that different engine options and the rear independent suspension. Continuing on, giving this compact SUV a more confident, refined, and fun to drive personality, like we had talked about. I think in listening to Honda in the dealer meetings and all that stuff, they're aiming the HRV and the Civic as really their entry-level vehicles to get more customers into the Honda family there. And I think this HRV is going to continue that with it. Now, talking about pricing here, let's go over here to the cars.honda website, and let's find out exactly what Honda says the HRV starts out at price-wise, because I believe it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Every year, prices are getting more and more expensive there. Inflation is obviously driving things up as well, but I don't believe it's going to be so much more expensive that you're competing with the CRV. So here's the starting prices. So HRV starts out at $21,870, which for a compact SUV, that's going to be reliable. That's going to hold its value a lot better than some of the manufacturers. Actually, most of the manufacturers. $21,870 is an incredibly low starting point. That's an LX front wheel drive, going to get you probably 250,000-300,000 miles on it. So $21,870. I think it's probably going to start out closer to $23,000. They'll probably, if I had to guess on pricing there, they'll probably start out at $22,997, $995 plus destination charge there, which will put you right over $24,000 with destination there. That's my kind of thought. I could be wrong on that, but that's kind of what my thought is here on the pricing of the vehicle. They can't increase it substantially, like a ton, because the CRV starts out at $26,400, and I don't think they really want to compete that far or that close with the CRV there. So I think that the price will stay, just a hair under $23,000, and then plus destination, you'll be probably just over $24,000. Plus your tax, all that stuff there. But I think that's probably where the MSRP will start out as. They may come out and surprise us all and be basically the same price as the current HRV, or they may go a little bit higher than that. Don't hold me to the fires on that, but that's just kind of where my thought is. Information is kind of very light here on the HRV. So that's kind of what we have on the HRV. There's going to be LED headlights here, which is very nice. On the current HRV, there really is no option for LED headlights, and then LED taillights as well. The HRV will have door-mounted mirrors, which is nice from the Civic, and it's just a cleaner upscale look there on the HRV. So I think that's kind of where we're going with the HRV. That's my thoughts on it currently. And let's move on to the Telluride now. Alrighty, so let's talk about the 2023 Kia Telluride now. So Kia released a teaser right there. I'll make it a little bigger image on the screen here. But that's the image that they gave us as a teaser for the exterior. So let's kind of start on the bottom portion. I want to kind of analyze this exterior picture a little bit, because I think it kind of tells us some of the, some of what it's going to look like and stuff like that. So they've already told us in the press briefing that there's going to be an X Pro line. So if you look at the teaser image here at the bottom where the grille is, there's like a silver, silver lay there with some LED lights in the middle. That reminds me a ton of the 2023 Kia Sportage X Pro. So that bottom portion is kind of squared off. I think it's going to look very similar to the X Pro that's on that Sportage there. Both look fantastic. I like the design of the 2023 Kia Sportage. Looks very good, very squared off on the X Pro edition there. Obviously fog lights there. Moving on up a little bit, in the grille there you have this silver, which looks kind of like a matte silver. It doesn't look like a glossy silver on the grill piece there, and then on the inside there it's kind of like a braided grill piece there. And I think this is going to probably, the image that you're probably seeing here is probably a dark moss X Pro all-wheel drive, and I think this is going to probably slot in between the EX trim level and the SX and SX Prestige trim level. So I think you're right there. EX is probably going to be just a hair below this X Pro, and then SX is going to be obviously the top end. SX Prestige is going to be the top. Moving on over to the headlights here. There's design language here, and I've seen some teaser images and some kind of renders of this vehicle, and it kind of reminds me of the taillight design in the Sorento there, where there's two different taillights in the vehicle there, and that reminds me a lot of what's going here on this Telluride. I think there's going to be two strips there with probably around each of them, they're probably going to be LED daytime running lights, and then in the middle there you'll probably have your headlights right there, and probably the LED strips that go around it that are going to probably be amber will probably be your turn signals. And that's kind of where I think that they're going to go. Big Kia logo, the new Kia logo right there in the middle of the grille. And then coming on over a little bit, I noticed something here on the wheel well, and it's the kind of black cladding there. And I think because this is that X Pro, they're going to add some like black cladding to make it look very off-roadish. And make it very aggressive here for this X Pro. Mirror caps are going to be black there, very nice, and it's going to look overall a very good vehicle there. There's probably still going to be the trim levels. I think that you're probably going to still have. You're going to probably have the LX as the base model there, which will probably come standard with dual zone climate control. The Softex leather seating surface, Softex leatherette seating surfaces there. You'll probably have a manual adjusting seat, and then if you move up to the S trim level, you'll probably have very similar features as you are today. Sunroof there, just a single sunroof. You'll have the 10.25-inch touchscreen that's going to stretch all the way across. Now that's actually one of the images they did release as well. It's a new image showing the interior of the vehicle here, and it's just like the Carnival, the Kia Carnival, where everything stretches across. It's all connected. The instrument cluster all the way over to the touchscreen there. Looks very, very, very good in this, especially in this vehicle there. And so, I think you're still going to have that LX, S, EX trim level, and then there's going to be the X Pro trim level. That will be that off-road, worthy one, and then you're going to have SX, SX Prestige on those trim levels. There may be an X Pro line or an X Pro something or the other there, or they may just keep it X Pro. With the Sportage, when they added the X Pro, there's 7 or 8 different trim levels. I don't think they're going to go that far here on the Telluride. I think you're going to have LX, S, EX, X Pro. You may have some options on that X Pro to add some more features, and then SX, SS Prestige there. We kind of keep them all joined up there. So, I think that's kind of the trim levels you're going to have I do suspect that currently on the Kia Telluride there is no digital instrument cluster, but on the Sorento, on the Carnival, on the new Sportage coming out, you can get the full digital instrument cluster. I have a feeling, a very good feeling, that that's going to come out here on the Telluride. That's missing. On the powertrain, I think the powertrain is going to stay the same. Here, a same scenario here with the Telluride as that HR-V. I've heard some rumors going around that there may be a hybrid edition. I don't think Kia is going that far just yet. I think this is just going to be a nice little refresh. Same powertrain options. The same V6 made up to that 8-speed automatic transmission. I think that's all going to stay the same there. I think this is strictly, again, just like the Niro, I think this is strictly going to be a refresh on the exterior and the interior of the vehicle there. There may be some other features that they add to the vehicle. One of the features I would like to see, and I don't know if they will add it, but I would like to see, like they have in the Carnival, they have a little cabin camera in the back there so you can see all the kids. That is a fantastic feature there, and I would love to see it on this Telluride. Will they add it? Probably not, but it would be fantastic to have it here on this Telluride. But overall, the Telluride is a hot selling, actually, that's probably not the best word to use for it because hot's probably too low on the heat schedule there, or the heat meter. This is like scorching sun hot of a vehicle there. It's basically impossible to find them on lots. They're being pre-sold as soon as they get allocated to dealers there. So I've imagined the 2023 is going to be the exact same there. Especially with the inventory shortages we're seeing all over the industry. So that's kind of been, a little bit of information that I'm thinking here on the Telluride, the HR-V, and the Niro. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below because I'd love to know them. These are, again, all thoughts. These are speculations, theories, thoughts, you name it. There's no hard concrete information besides what we're getting in these press releases and what we're getting from the different manufacturers here. We're just putting our thoughts together and seeing what we think. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. I think I said think and thought probably too many times at that point, but let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I love to hear them. And also, if you could, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will be continuing to make some videos, and I will see you in the next one.